guys, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to be doing a fun video, at least I think it is. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite fandoms. Now that includes books, TV, movies, and sports, because sports is also a fandom. So I'm just gonna tell you, how I got into the fandoms, and yeah. But there's quite a few on this list, so let's go ahead and get started. The first one on my list is Outlander. Now, Outlander has been probably one of my favorite book to TV series adaptations. I love the books. They're a little bit dense, but I really enjoyed them. And then the TV show, I think, is probably one of the better adaptations of it. I really enjoy it. And come on, Sam Heughan is freaking gorgeous. But anyway, that is one of my favorite TV shows. I got into Outlander probably about, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. It was like right after the first season came out, and I just wanted to read the book. So I read the book and I really liked it. So then I watched the TV show and I liked it even more. So yeah, I really like Outlander. The next fandom I have to talk about is Beauty and the Beast. Now, Beauty and the Beast, like the animated movie, has been my favorite thing since I was a little girl. That movie is by far one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how bad of a obsession I had with Beauty and the Beast when I was younger. And when the live animation, or the live, however you say that, version came out, I fell in love with it even more. That is probably one of my favorite live action movies as far as a Disney film is concerned, and I just love it so much. It's so great. I also like the TV show Beauty and the Beast, the one that was created in my generation, not the one back in 1990s or 1980s, but I really enjoyed that TV series. It has nothing to do with Beauty and the Beast. It just has the same storyline. So yeah, that's my favorite Disney fandom, if anybody wanted to know. The next one I have to talk about is a book fandom, and that is the ACOTAR, and ACOWAR, whatever fandom you want to call it. The Sarah J. Maas books of A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. Now, I will tell you, I hated the first book, like hated it, but I fell in love in the second book, and I just could not like get over the second book. It's probably one of my favorite books that Sarah J. Maas has written. And I liked A Court of Wings and Ruins. I really liked it in the beginning, but towards the end it just kind of fell flat a little bit for me. I can't wait for the next book in the series to come out. It comes out on May 1st, and I could not be more excited about it. I'm just like, I cannot wait for it to come out. So there's that. The next one I have is NCIS and NCIS LA. Now, most of you guys, if you've been watching me for a while, or at least the past month, you know that I have had a slight obsession with this TV show for a while. NCIS LA was probably one of my favorite TV shows growing up, because it came out when I was like, I want to say in high school. Like, NCIS LA came out when I was in high school, and NCIS came out when I was very little. I think I was like in 2nd or 3rd grade when it first came out. Obviously, I didn't watch it back then because it was a little bit too mature for me at that age, but I love those two shows so much. I don't watch NCIS New Orleans. I don't have any desire. I just love the other two so much that I'm just going to stick with it. Another one that I have here is probably one of my all-time favorite series, because this series came out like when I want to say I was young, but I wasn't quite old enough to be watching it. So I watched it, or rewatched it in college, and that would be Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, I'm a huge fan of Sarah Michelle Gellar. I know that's a little weird, but I really like her. And just watching her throughout the whole series was just like probably one of my favorite things. And of course, Allison, who plays, Willow. I love her so much. I mean, she's been in a whole bunch of other series that you just can't get rid of her from anything. So I really enjoyed watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I also watched Angel, but I didn't like Angel as much as I liked Buffy, especially because Buffy and Spike are like OTP, duh. I mean, I liked Angel when he was in it, but every time I just think of David, who plays Angel, I just think of Bones, and I can't, every time I rewatch Buffy, I just can't get that out of my head that he's freaking Special Agent Booth. I can't do it. So, yeah, Buffy's one of my favorite TV shows growing up. Another one that I have is a new fandom that I've come to like, and that is the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. I really liked reading that duology. I loved Crooked Kingdom. It was probably one of my favorite books that I've read this year so far. That'll be in my wrap up for April because I did finish it this month, but I really enjoyed it. I just love the character dynamics between everybody, and it was just so refreshing to read books that had different types of characters of different ethnicities and different sexual orientations. So it was like really nice to read, and I absolutely loved it. The next one I have is the Fallen Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes. Now, I've only read the first 3 books. I am in the middle of the 4th book, and I really like it, but I've heard some mixed reviews on the 5th and 6th book, so I don't know if I'm going to read those anytime soon. I also have heard that the spin-off series is not that great, so I think I'm just not going to read the spin-off series, but I might finish the Fallen Kingdom series, not because I really liked the first 3 books. Another one that I'm a huge fan of is all the DC shows that are on Netflix. That includes Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, and I think there's Legends of Tomorrow on there, but I haven't watched Legends of Tomorrow. But I am a huge DC girl. I do not like Marvel. I mean, I like Marvel, but it's not like my go-to superhero. It's like, I want the originals. I want freaking Superman, and that's just what I want. So, I really like those shows. They're just kind of cheesy shows that you can just get mindless binge watching on, and I really, really enjoy them. Supergirl is probably one of my favorites, and it's really refreshing to see a main female lead character in a badass role. I'm sorry, but that's just like so cool to me. I want more of that in today's TV. But I really enjoy it. I think I'm on the 1st season still. I do need to finish it, but I just love it so much. So there's that. Another one that I could heavily relate to growing up was Gilmore Girls, and a lot of people ask me about Gilmore Girls. I do have all 7 seasons on DVD. I also have Sookie St. James, Lorelai Gilmore, and Rory Gilmore in Funko Pops, and I am just a huge Gilmore Girls fan. I grew up with a single mother, and I could heavily relate to Lorelai and Rory's relationship. It just reminded me so much of me and my mom that like I could just see myself being Rory and my mom being Lorelai. That's just how it was for me growing up. Again, my mom was not a young mom. She was like later on in her life. Like I think she was 27 when she had me, but you know, she ended up being a single mom for majority of my childhood. So I could heavily relate to that show, and I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite shows all time. I could like watch any season now and just quote it. It's just, I could literally sit there and say every line for my favorite episode, which is, by the way, if anybody wants to know, is season 7, episode 5. And if you've seen it, you know why it's my favorite episode. But anyway, another TV show that I grew up on is Charmed. Now, Charmed is about 3 witches who are the charmed ones, which means they're like the chosen witches for good, and they need to protect themselves from evil and save everybody in their world from evil. And I really, really, really loved that show. I think there's 8 seasons. I have all 8 seasons on DVD as well, and I absolutely love it. Again, it's one of my favorite shows. I can turn on any episode and I could quote it from start to finish. It's absolutely my favorite. Sort of fandom that I have on here before we get to the sports is The Mighty Storm by Samantha Toll. Now, I absolutely love this series. It's probably one of my favorite series of all time, and Samantha Toll is one of my favorite authors. Like, I could just sit there and just read her books at any time of day, any time of year, and just fall completely in love with these characters all over again. I absolutely love them. And I feel, actually, I think I might reread a little bit of it today, because I just really want to relive those characters. You know, if there was a time that I could like reread a book and not remember anything that happened, it would be The Mighty Storm, because I just love it so much. I do want to say that I do have a new fandom that I just recently got into, probably like 3 days ago, and that would be the Greta Van Fleet fandom. I don't know if there's a name for their fandom yet. They're a relatively new rock band, and I just love them. My parents put on the 80s, 70s, and 60s rock. That's what I grew up on. So I when this new band came out, probably, I think it was in April of last year, so I'm a little bit late on getting into this bandwagon, but I really enjoy them. They're a really good sound, and I really hope that they become big. They're going to be in Dallas in May, but their tickets are expensive. I'm like, why are they so expensive? But hopefully I'll be able to get to their show sometime soon, because I hear they're really, really good live performers. I've heard them live, like I've seen like videos of them performing live, and they sound very good. Again, a relatively new fandom, absolutely love them. They're young too. Like, I'm 24, I'll be 25 in October, and these kids are 18 to 21. Like, I'm not old, but it just makes me feel a little bit older that, you know, these kids that are 6 years younger than me are these huge mega rock stars. It's just crazy. But anyway, so now we're gonna get to the sports. For me, I have a lot of sports memorabilia. I mean, if you can see behind me, I don't know if you can see, but I do have a Dallas Stars flag over here and a Dallas Stars wreath, and then on this end I have a bunch of Sam Houston State University, where I went to college. I have a bunch of stuff over there, and then this orange wreath back here is also Sam Houston State University. I am a huge sports fan. It does not matter, you know, what kind of sport, although I do not like golf. I will not watch golf or tennis or running or anything like that. But I will say the Dallas Stars are probably one of my favorite professional teams, other than the New England Patriots. If you don't know, huge New England fan. Bruins are my favorite hockey team of all time, and the Stars are a close second. The favorite NHL team or NFL team is the New England Patriots. Favorite MLB team is the Boston Red Sox. I grew up in Florida. Boston Red Sox used to do their spring training in my town in Florida, so that's how I became a New England fan. Everybody asked me, "You're from the South. Why the hell do you like New England fans or like New England teams?" And that's what I say. I just grew up with the Red Sox playing spring training games in my town, and I just became a fan of New England. The other one I will say is that my family is from Ohio, so we are huge Ohio State Buckeye fans. So sorry if you're a Michigan Wolverine fan. I don't feel bad. It's a friendly rivalry. Half of my family is Michigan Wolverine fans. The other half are Ohio State Buckeyes. So every time they play each other every single year, it always gets very competitive, and it's fun. Because we're from a small town in Ohio called Toledo, and if you know anything of the Toledo battle, you know the rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State. So the other one that I am a huge fan of is Texas A&M. I grew up in Houston, and Texas A&M was maybe an hour and a half to 2 hour drive away. So I actually applied to go to Texas A&M. I did get accepted to their teaching and nursing programs, but I decided not to go. So I ended up going to Sam Houston State, which is about a 45-minute drive from College Station in a small town of Huntsville, Texas, where there is a giant prison in the same town. So I enjoyed going to college at Sam. I really, really enjoyed my time there, and the friends that I made, and everybody that I got to meet while I was there. But those are my sports fandoms. I've got a lot of them. I don't want to go into 100% detail of them, because it would be a 10 times longer video than it probably already is. But those are my fandoms that I am a huge part of. Not so much as far as like an involvement on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all that, but I am at heart. So with that being said, if you have any video suggestions, put them in the comments below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, also put them in the comments below. And I will see you guys next time with a new one. Bye!